Hey everybody, and welcome to an interim Lottie Blab here, because I'm actually live at the Dublin Chamber of Commerce here in Dublin, of course, in Ireland, and I am with the Business Owners Network. So business owners, we're live. Wave hello, Business Owners Network here in the chamber, and the chamber team at the back there. Wave hello, chamber team at the back. So we're doing a live demo of Blab, just the very simple basics of how it works. And one of the things that people might start to notice is you need to keep the focus and keep the content connection with the eyesight to the camera. Now, if you're watching me live in the room, what you'll see me doing now is I'm having to now turn away to the keyboard to be able to look and type any messages in. I'm also having to look up at the screen if I want to check who's joined us in the room and what the messages are. Now, every time you do that, you actually break the connection with somebody who is watching you. So the trick is normally what I would do is I would have this camera here set on top of my laptop over here. So if it's sitting on the top of there, but it needs to be at eye height. You want to make sure that you're never looking down to the camera lens. Otherwise, you get a lovely angle with your voice goes funny, but B, you get the lovely view up the chin and double chins and everything else. So those are the little things to avoid when you're actually talking to the camera itself.
Could you use the webcam on your laptop?
You can use the webcam on your laptop. And I can actually, if I bring this, I'm just going to bring this over here. But again, what you want to do is test. You'll see as I move it around, the lighting on my face will change. And the aim, what you want when you set yourself up on camera as well, is a lot of people set up with their webcams like this, with a huge space at the top of their head. So always make sure that you frame yourself. This is called your framing on camera, that you frame yourself so that the triangle. This is the golden triangle of your face. This is where when people communicate, they look at you here. They want to make the eye contact. People who don't connect through the camera lens and look at people and make eye contact, people then think that you're slightly untrustworthy. But recent research, I love my job because I get to listen to the radio and watch television and watch things online. Watch television for my research. Right. But the biggest thing that I heard on 98 FM was a report about one of the biggest giveaways for lying. And the perception is that people who can't smile when they talk are more likely to be lying. Mm-hmm. So when you're saying to me, I'm really happy to be joining you here, I'm so excited to share my business, there's nothing. It's dead, isn't it? So number one tip when you first start to play with the camera is learn to smile. Have some fun. Now, we're wanting to avoid that. Oh, God, get me off. Please get me off camera. I hate this. So actually think about things that are going to make you laugh. So that's why I always say to everybody, you've got to learn to play on camera. You've got to have some fun, laugh at yourself when things go wrong, and be able to simply go with the flow. See what happens. So that's a couple of tips about you presenting. Always watch and always do when you're joining in here and watching other people, do interact. Now, if I want to send a message to Donald here to say hello, if I type in the @ sign, you can start seeing who else is in the room here. So Joe's in there. And now Donald hasn't popped up there, but if I start typing Donald, I know Donald's new, so it's not going to happen here. Always the way. As soon as you say, when you do this, this happens. No, it doesn't always. This is the joy of social media. So Donald O'Hagan, thanks for joining us. Press enter. Donald will now get that as a message showing up. Donald, where are you in the room, by the way? There you are. So Donald, you should see in a second, you've got a message that's shown up to you.
Indeed, yes.
Yep. So then you can actually, at the side of that, you can do two things. You can either like the message by putting the star on there, or you can reply directly to me by using the little arrow here. Then that way, people who aren't necessarily on camera, you'll see people start having side chats. And there's lots of other chats going on the side here. So which is why it's always useful to have your co-host, because then you can look and check What's the chat going on? Are people enjoying this? Are people with me? Are they asking questions? There's also a way that sadly is not showing right now, but we hope is going to be coming back. If you type /Q, this is how you ask a question. She says, I'm doing my dyslexia perfectly this morning. with my spelling. There we go. Question. Can't see the screen. Normally what happens then is the little blue Q pops up. When those normally appear, they used to, and hopefully will again very soon, appear on the left-hand side here. What you can then do is you can actually pin a question into the big screen here so that people can see what that question is. If you're answering a question, always read it out. Now, the lock seat, yes?
Sorry, I just followed you on Blab, but this Blab conversation is not showing up.
Now, if you go to my profile, it should be showing up that you can join in there. So if you come out, if I come back out of here, now there we go. If I come back out of this one here, still remembering that you are on camera. Every time you're here, that you are on camera. Scheduled the replays. Oh, there we go. So I'm duplicate because I'm live now on my own profile. So I'm just going to close that one down. You'll hear that through there. But what I do want to do is invite our guest. Alec, are you there? I want Alec to jump in. If you know you've got somebody who's coming into your room because you've planned to do an interview with them, this is actually the #1 tool that I've found, the #1 way that helps you grow. Yes, you have the topic that's your business. So a person calls in. As I said, if you don't know them, don't necessarily let them in because there are people out there who will be asking to drop in. Alec, can you just try jumping in there again, please? Caller, they will appear at the side. Oh, I don't know why that's disappearing. As I said, there sometimes are glitches, especially when you're demonstrating this. Show caller, I'm going to accept him quickly before he disappears. Oh, that's Ed. Ed's jumping in. That's what I was expecting, Alec, but Ed is jumping in. So, Ed, now if you're in the room, you're going to need to go out of the room, please. So there we go. We can see Ed there. So say hello, Ed.
Bye.
Hello, Ed. and that's how we. So this is why you do want to know the people that you invite into your room because you never know. So yes.
Question: what's the level of trolls like on Blab versus in person?
It's not as bad as Periscope because if anybody who's seen Periscope, that's just you presenting on screen, and you get a lot of messages popping up underneath. Now on your iPhone, what happens then is the messages appear across your face a lot of the time, and people can say anything that they want about you. There's a little button at the bottom that's love hearts. See the hands here? This is the give you props. I'm clapping, saying thank you very much. I like what you said. So that happens on Periscope as well. But because this is more interactive, I'm just going to kick you out now, Ed. So if you don't like somebody, you do this. Give them a boot out of the room. Give them a boot out of the room. With the trolls, because the messages at the side are seen by all of the people who are with you in your room, and most of the people that I've met on Blab are hugely supportive, really friendly. They'll help you out. If I mention certain websites, like if I mention the Momentum Summit, usually what somebody will do is they'll copy the URL for that, and then they'll paste it into the Blab. Then this is a link that anybody who's with you can then go and follow. So you can actually post in information. You can also use, if you've got videos that you want to show from YouTube, you can actually drop them into the links here as well. So if you've got the screen share, you can do that as well if you want to share and coach people how to do something that you've got your slideshow for. The one thing though is anything you do drop into this window will not show up in the recording here. Only you on camera, not kids on camera. Alec, can I ask you to come in again because I know you've got a question. Always make sure one's jewellery is centred as well when one goes on camera. Always got to look good. So let's see if Alec can come in, because I know he had a burning question for us. We'll find out what his burning question is. One thing also, while we're waiting for him to pop in, is on camera, while you're watching yourself, it looks like your left is your left. It looks like it's a mirror image. But if you think about it, your left hand is actually appearing on your right-hand side. So you need to think of Blab as being a mirror. So if I was on Blab saying, put a message in the box here, the way everybody else is seeing it is I would actually be pointing this way. So this is not a mirror image. You always need to think that anything on screen, what you see on screen is this way round. So does that make sense to everybody? So if what you see on the right, I actually need to use my right hand to point this way, and I need to use my left hand to point to things on the left-hand side of the screen. Thank you. We've got 5 minutes. Yes, well, Alec's trying to jump in here. So he is in the hallway. We're trying to find Alec True. We're missing you, Alec True. Yeah, well, why don't you try? You jump out there, Joe, and if you can jump in. And now, because we're still chatting away here, there are a few more people you can see who've joined you in the room. So Rob, hello Rob, he must be outside as well. Maybe Rob, you can go and Blab bomb it here. Kevin Codle, hello Kevin. Right, Joe is here. Ah, there we go. Hello Joe. Hello to Joe, and hello to Alex. So now they both did. Joe did the first thing then, which is the very common mistake, as I said, of starting it off looking down at the camera like this. But can you see the difference as soon as you hold it up, without doing the double?
Thanks very much. I didn't realise I had one.
we all do when we do that on camera.
I'm reporting.
You have to get over it. So
I wish, but I might as well be, because this is what makes it so easy.
Right. we've got very poor sound in the room here, Alec, by the way, but we can just about hear you. I don't know why the sound's not connecting properly there. Right, different phone. So Alec, what was your burning question that you wanted to
audience
ask
for this presentation this morning? I'm only kidding you.
Do we object to that, audience?
Really what I want to know is, people are seeing what we're able to do with it, but give me a practical example of how this has made your business more successful in what you do, which is obviously, press play presentations.
Well, obviously, with my particular business, my business is all about helping people be confident on camera. I forgot to bring my book with me today. But the main reason that I love it is, this is walking the talk of what you do. So if you're in social media, or if you're in any business where building a community is part and parcel of your business, this is a really, really easy way to do it, because as you can see, it feels like we're actually chatting to each other.
Amazing.
Now, the one thing for Alec I was going to ask you is, if I look away and look at you on screen, do you feel like I'm talking to you still?
So thanks for boring me.
No. So one thing I'm going to thank you very much for that clever, smart answer there, Alec. I'll give him lots of claps. The more you click, the more claps you get, by the way. So the main thing is to make sure that you do keep that eye contact. Normally, I set my camera up as close as I can to the screen, and I will say to people, excuse me if I have to look across. I'm just checking to see if there's any messages here. But coming back to the key question, why is this important for your business? It's only important for your business if this is a tool you know you're going to use. It's like anything. Get in there, start watching other people, start seeing how people use this for their businesses. There's a lot of trash blabbing out there. And when I say trash, it's simply people sitting in a room talking, or people getting stoned, actually, talking for all sorts of timelines. You never know what's going to be happening on Blab, but look for the business Blabs and start noticing what works. You can get up to 4 people in the room here. If there was somebody else who joined, we can actually end up with 4 people. So you can have a proper conversation with 4 different people. And if Alec jumped out, you could invite somebody else to jump in the room. So all of these people that are joining you at the top here, you can actually invite. I could say to Ed, come on into the room. Oh, we've just seen who's arrived in the room here. Oh, Kate, come on in. Data protection. Oh, that's what we're talking about today. Kate, come on in, have a chat and tell us what your answer would be to this question. So can you kind of see how that would work? Can anybody think of, oh, actually there's a topic I could discuss within my business publicly, and that I could get my friends and my connections across the world to come and join me in an interview? Can you see that?
Why did you say publicly?
This is all public right now. This is all public. Anybody can come in from anywhere in the world to join us. If they know I'm on air, then people sometimes people often do when I'm doing the video blab, because they come in specifically on Friday afternoons to see that. 1:30 today. But this is all actually public. So that's the one downside. You need to be aware.
One of the things I was just thinking there this morning, the Chamber are obviously running a promotional video and creating some content for their website. This would be an ideal thing to connect up with maybe some of their key members who are overseas at the moment, and maybe lock them into a conversation that might form part of that.
Absolutely. And that was one thing I was going to say, is for anybody who is coming to the Momentum Summit, why come? Alec, you went there last year. How was it?
Believe it or not, everything was great up until I got the free glass of wine at the end, and then I got a call to leave. But up until that, it was brilliant. I'll tell you what, there's a great sense of networking. There's some great speakers, motivational and inspirational speakers there. I'm looking forward to it again. I sort of locked in my ticket early on, and I would heartily recommend it to anybody. I think there's a special offer on for the Business Owners Network, which expires. Donald will tell you, it could be today or it could be in the next few days, but there's a special offer on.
Yes, I think it's I think it's till the end of the month, because we've got speakers from Derry Gray, from Paul O'Connell's a new booking for the speakers. We've got Justin Keating, Jack Teeling from Teeling's Fruits. Teeling's Whiskey. Teeling's Fruits, Teeling's Whiskey. And then we've got 3 workshops on networking with Sean Weafer, with Declan Gray on social, and Fiona Flynn on corporate business development. So if you are going to go, then my wins last year personally were actually from the networking, the groups, from the masterclasses. So get your ticket early and book in for the masterclass. And I think also the final thing, just before I sign off, is for people not to forget in the Business Owners Network that people like myself and a lot of you are members of the Professional Speaking Association, and we have a large number of members who speak on a wide range of topics that would be of interest to many of our corporate and SME clients that are in the room. So there you go. That's another example of how you can promo things. Get somebody else to promo what you do or what's going on around you. So, Alec, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us here on Blab. Thank you, everybody in the room, for joining us here on Blab. Wave bye-bye, everybody, because we're definitely over time now. So wave bye-bye before we get kicked off by our wonderful host and leader behind us here. And we'll say thank you very much to everybody for joining us on a very simple, basic Blab demo at the Dublin Chamber Business Owners Network. See you soon. If I can pause the recording.